the state of Alabama,
Connecticut, the Constitution State, Georgia,
Kansas, Louisiana, Minnesota, West Virginia.
It is with great optimism that we proudly cast
49 votes,
7 votes,
14 votes,
330 votes. And I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
the next president
Of the United States of America, the first woman president, Hillary
Rodham
Clinton!
It's night 2. Who's pumped up?
We got some fight left in us, don't we?
This is our fight song. Take back my life song. Prove it right.
You nominated the best darn change maker I have ever known.
Tonight is an incredible night for American history and feminist history. Don't waste a vote. Vote for Hillary Clinton.
Yes, 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 yes. Last night was epic. It was fantastic. And that was just, just some of the highlights. What's up, everybody? I'm Hill Harper. That's it. Welcome back for another exciting night of DNC Live. We got Touré in the place up in the digital balcony. We got Lovey in the digital suite. And I'm ready to get this DNC Live party started. What's up, you guys? I can see you.
How are you?
When I said my name, Hill Harper, did you guys clap? Touré, give me some love.
Give you some love?
Yeah, I can see you, man.
You can see.
Yes, I can see you.
You want me to give you love? Well, good. Yeah, we're working together so you can see me. That's what's up. This hall is already electric.
It's already electric.
I got luminaries all around me.
Who's
we can
there?
turn the camera. We got Maxine Waters over here.
Maxine
we
Waters,
got
she's a
Greg
legend.
Meeks over there.
Greg
we got
Meeks.
congressional legends all around me.
You got the whole Congressional Black Caucus up there.
And this hall is already electric. Gavin Newsom is on the stage. Harry Reid just walked off. Everybody's got extra energy because tonight is the night that the president will speak.
Yes, yes.
And everybody's excited about that. Last night we saw one of the great political orators of this era, Bill Clinton. Tonight we see another one of the greatest political orators of our time, Barack Obama.
Absolutely. Hey, Lovey, what's going on up there?
What's going on, Hill? I'm excited. I have good seats.
Yeah, you do?
I do. I can see everything.
Are you there by yourself? So you're not like Touré. You're not getting any visitors up there? What's happening?
I will have visitors.
You will?
Yes.
Who do you got there now?
I'm going to have Brooks from NAACP. So he's not here with
Cornell
that.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's one of the most intelligent folks on the political scene, so that's very
Right.
exciting. I'm excited about that.
Right.
And so, I love working with you, both of you guys, because number one, you guys have great energy. Number two, you're intelligent and you're savvy. You know what's happening in the world of politics and here at the DNC. And more importantly, y'all look good on camera. That's the most important
We're just
part.
trying to keep up with you, Hill.
Oh, no, you surpassed me, because black don't crack, right?
I know. I know. People wouldn't believe that you're 50 years old. It's amazing.
Hey, Lovey, check it out. Will you just introduce yourself to our audience and let folks know, the folks that don't know who you are, what you've been up to, what you're doing, and how magnificent you actually are?
So I'm Lovey of AwesomelyLovey.com. I'm a writer, I'm a blogger, I'm a professional troublemaker, and I've been having a good time at the DNC. It's my first time here ever, so I have just been having adventures.
So, Lovey, I'm going to interview you now for a second.
Okay.
So check it out. When we think about millennials and we think about politics,
right?
What do you think is foremost on their minds, and how do you think they're engaging with it? Because, I was interviewing Lacey Green here last night and talking about, she has 1.5 million unique users on her YouTube channel.
Right.
And she was talking about the fact that she doesn't have a network television account. She doesn't have cable. She streams everything, and so she otherwise wouldn't even see the convention if it wasn't being streamed. If you couldn't get it right here on DNC Live, Studio 2016. So what do you think how do we reach folks, and what do you think they actually care about?
I think black people care about what's going to happen. Are they going to be able to get jobs after college? Are they going to be able to afford the cable that they can't even get now? Like, what about Netflix? Can they get Netflix? So it's a matter of millennials trying to figure out, okay, where do we fit in? What can we do to make a difference? And who's going to hear our concerns?
But if you look around the hall,
right,
and you pan around, most of the people who are the delegates don't necessarily look like them. Do you think that puts them off in a way?
A little bit. It does feel a little bit older. When I went on the floor, it was like a lot of older people. And I feel like millennials need to be politically engaged in a way that's going to make them more social. So if we got to catch them on Instagram, catch them on Facebook, catch them on Snapchat. So wherever they are at, we need to find them and then make sure that they're interested in what's happening and they know that they are relevant in this election cycle.
Okay, that's great. So let's go to Teray now, who's got some members of the Congressional Black Caucus with him. Teray, what's going on up there?
Yeah, I'm here with Congressman Greg Meeks from the great state of New York, the 5th District. Last night on the stage we saw the mothers of the movement, and it's beautiful that they're together. It's tragic that there's so many of them, but I think that represented in part how Hillary and her campaign see that black women in particular and black people are important to this campaign.
You're absolutely right. And when you listen to their story, you also felt how compassionate Hillary Clinton was and is about their scenarios and others like them. You see that she was very human. She understands being a mother, losing a child before their time is devastating. And I think that is absolutely who she is and why she wanted them to speak last night.
Now, one of the important things that you do at a convention like this, you humanize your candidate, right? You make them relatable and likable to the people. And that's what Bill Clinton tried to do. It was not a normal Bill Clinton political speech. It was more from the heart about his wife as a woman rather than, the co-president sort of thing we talked about, years ago. What did you think about what the president had to say?
I thought it was perfect because he's here to talk about his wife. That's the reason he was here, not as the 43rd president of the United States. He came as a husband, and he wanted to give a side that he has grown to know over the years, who this woman is, what kind of wife she is, what kind of mother she is, what type of commitment she has, what her driving focus is. It was just absolutely the right thing to do because, as he said, there is the real Hillary and there's a lie.
Right.
And you are actually getting a real in-depth picture of who the real Hillary is. One of the things I wish he had said, he talked about, and he indicated, I happened to have been on a plane with him one time, and he had some issues that he was questioning. The first person and the last person that he called to get some comments from was Hillary Clinton. And she gave him the instructions of what to do. It was a great, I think, statement by Bill Clinton talking about his wife and the mother of his child.
It's a close race. I know that you think that Hillary's going to win, but what does Hillary have to do to get from here to there?
Well, I think that she's got to continue to work hard, and we've got to reach out to all the communities. We've got to be knocking on doors. And I know from the plan that I have seen, we're going to go from community to community, not taking anything for granted. Understanding, as President Obama said, anything can happen in a political race. I know that is. So that is the case. So not taking it for granted, making sure that we get out and talk about the issues that are important to all Americans. Talk about how we're going to reduce the discrepancy in income. Talk about how we're going to make sure that the middle class is being able to grow their income. Talk about how we're going to give opportunity to the poor, how we're educating our young folks, how we're going to make sure that there's better jobs so that tomorrow is better than today and yesterday. That is absolutely what this is all about.
What do you think about the notion of Russia having directly, consciously having an impact or trying to have an impact on our presidential elections?
Well, if you look at who Russia, and especially Mr. Putin, what his background is, he's former KGB. It doesn't surprise me at all. But what should surprise individuals is the connection that Mr. Trump has to Mr. Putin and what that will mean for our country. And for him to come and say now he wished there would be further espionage with against a former Secretary of State is just mind-boggling to me. So Russia trying to have an implementation involving themselves in our political process doesn't surprise me when you have a candidate like Donald Trump who's talking about that we should break up NATO, that he would not interfere if Russia attacked one of our NATO allies. So it doesn't surprise me that they would get involved the way they are, because their interest is to try to get one of their advocates, Donald Trump, to become president of the United States. Not good for America, maybe good for Russia, but not good for America.
Congressman Greg Meeks from New York, thank you so much for your time. Let's go upstairs to Lovey, who's with my friend Ben Jealous.
Hello. So I am with NAACP President Cornell William Brooks, and I'm excited.
I'm excited.
This is my first time here.
Well, this is not my first time here, but it's my first time here with you.
Absolutely. So for a newbie like me, what do you tell them about the DNC?
What I would say is this is an exciting convention and an exciting moment in history.
Right.
And a moment in which millennials represent the largest slice of the American populace and citizenry, and an outsized voice in this election.
Right.
So it's an incredible moment.
It is an incredible moment. So you've been president of the NAACP since 2014. So what direction do you plan to take the organization in?
Well, my goal is to take the NAACP in the direction of where millennials are concerned. So I came to the NAACP 1 week before Eric Garner lost his life in Staten Island. Then Ferguson, Michael Brown, Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland. And so my 2 years as president and CEO of the NAACP has literally been shaped by turmoil, tumult in the country. And so when we think about the fact that the Black Lives Matter movement has moved from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook to the center stage of American politics.
Right.
What that says to me and to the NAACP is that criminal justice reform is at the very top of our agenda, but also voting rights, because what we've seen is a generationally unprecedented level of activism in the streets.
Right.
But that has not translated in terms of a presence at the polls. And so as the nation's oldest civil rights organization, but also in a less understood way, a young civil rights organization. And here's what I mean. We have at least 70,000 college students.
Okay.
Hundreds and hundreds of college chapters, youth councils, high school chapters all across the country.
Okay.
And so we represent a generation of young people who want to see reform, who want to participate in the process, and who want to be heard at the polls.
Right.
And so we're saying very clearly in this election year, those who demonstrate in the streets need to be present at the polls.
At the polls.
And those who are present at the polls need to be demonstrating in the streets. In other words, this is not your grandparents' civil rights movement. Be clear. This is a post-millennium civil rights movement, the likes of which young people and older people have to be together. And what I mean by that is, when we think about Selma, that was a kind of old school, biracial, black-white voter suppression of another era.
Right.
This voter suppression is multiracial, multi-ethnic, and multi-generational. In other words, you have old politicians honoring concealed weapon permits, allowing those to be used to vote, but not honoring high school IDs, college IDs. And so really this election is about a generation saying, we want you to pay attention to police misconduct. We want you to pay attention to this student debt recovery. So in other words, we have folks graduating from college, taking jobs that underpay them with a heavy debt load.
Right.
We have to do something about that. And we have to do something about the fact that we still have a great many corners of this country where people don't have access to the American dream, don't yet have access to the full measure of health care in this country.
Right.
So this is an election where literally the youngest of the American electorate can decide who becomes president.
Well, thank you for that. We're so excited to see what NAACP is going to have going on next. So we're going to be back with Hill Harper in the studio. Hey, Hill.
Hey. So many millennials will be voting for president for the first time in this election and tuning in to DNC 2016. And this woman sitting next to me, I'm so honored to have her here. She's the CEO of the Democratic National Convention Committee. It's Reverend Dr. Leah Daughtry with us here. She's a Reverend, the good Reverend Doctor. So here's the deal. Here's the thing about you, and I just want to say this, I have to say it, is that there's so many heroes that are so important to what we're seeing that's happening that the general public doesn't see. They don't see how all this comes together and who's doing what and how it aligns and creates and helps the movement. But you are the person behind the scenes. You are the wizard behind the curtain. And it's just an honor to have you here. I'm glad I could get you on camera because I know you're shy. You try to keep behind the scenes. And so
That's
you
my
were
little secret, Hill.
You
You're
were
not
the
supposed to
CEO in 2008, which was a historic convention.
Yes.
And now you're the CEO in 2016, which is another historic convention. How does that make you feel?
It is a little overwhelming. I don't know that it's really settled into my spirit yet. The fact that I've been on the front lines for 2 historic conventions. You know, right now I'm in the midst of just producing the show.
Right.
And getting it
is
done.
that your way of saying, it's nice talking to you, but I got to go? Is that what you're really saying?
No. I made time for this. But, it'll probably sink in a week or so that, my small role in history. So, but it's been a little bit overwhelming.
Okay, so from your perspective on high, why is it important for millennials to get engaged in this election and in voting in general?
Sure. Our voice is our vote. And if you want to have something to say, if you have an opinion about what's happening in the country, then voting is the way to express that. And as I say to millennials all the time, and I got a nephew who's a millennial, you have an opinion about everything. You express it on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all the different mediums. We go out, we talk about what Kanye did, Nick Cannon's braids from last night, all this.
You like something, you dislike it.
Exactly. Voting is the way to say what you like and what you don't like.
Right, but you know what their response to me is oftentimes, well, how come voting isn't as easy as liking a Twitter feed or liking something or weighing in that easily? Why can't we make voting that easy? They don't want to stand in line, some people say to me. They don't, but what you're saying is it's worth it, even if you have to stand in line.
It's worth it. If you want to change the system, voting is the way to do that. Right. I know it's complicated right now, but it's less complicated than it was for our ancestors who had to do the poll tax test, who had to stand on miles long, and who still couldn't vote. But the involvement in the system has made it easier over time. So if you want to change it to electronic voting, to be able to vote from your phone, get involved so that you can make those changes.
Absolutely. And so I had Kristen Clark, who is the new executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights on. We were talking about voter protection, voter suppression. Yeah. What are you seeing out there when we talk about voter protection that we need to be wary of, and how can we make sure that we're protecting people's right to vote?
Absolutely. And we got to know what the law is. I talk to a lot of young people who, first-time voters, who go and they're in a situation where someone asks them for an ID. They don't have their ID. They don't go vote. It's illegal to ask you for your ID to go vote. You've got to know what the law is. Reverend Jackson used to tell us, you got to know the system in order to change the system. You got to know the rules in order to break the rules creatively. So know what your rights are walking into it, and don't let anybody dissuade you from your right to vote. And if you understand that, I go to vote in New York. Nobody asks me for ID. It's illegal. Don't let anybody stop you or tell you that it's what day it is. You ought to know what day it is, when election day is. It wasn't last Tuesday, it's this Tuesday. It wasn't tomorrow. They didn't suddenly change it like they do in some places in the South where they say, oh, voting day is changed. It's Wednesday. You've missed your opportunity. So pay attention to the rules, know what the laws are, and then stand as firm and as flat-footed as my mother would say in exercising your rights. Don't let anybody take your vote from you.
And also, on top of that, bring other people with you.
Bring other people with you.
Because what I want to tell people is we're all leaders. Don't wait for someone to lead. Yeah. Step out and lead. Grab other folks. If they say, I don't want to vote. No, come on with me. Stand in line with me. Let's do this together.
Look,
let's bring water
you
to
take your boys to the club. You go with your girls to the club. Take your folks to the voting booth.
Absolutely.
Make it a party.
Well, I know that you have to go out there and run things. I have one question. How come you didn't put me on the main stage to be one of the speakers? You put me back here in the studio. I like Studio 2016, but I feel a little lonely here.
Oh no, but you talking to the millennials though. We need you to have your voice out here, and 2020 will get you.
But you won't be CEO in 2020.
You don't know that.
Oh, that's right. That's good. Okay, so she's got to go. Give it up for the good Reverend Doctor, y'all. Come on. Yes. So we're gonna go to a video package now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
go
much.
Check this out, you guys.
Richard Schiff, Jay Carney. We're here in Philadelphia at the Democratic National Convention 2016. You know, one of the things that, especially when you're on staff and you get to see that you don't see, even if you're a delegate, but certainly if you're on television, it's sort of the bowels of the arena and what it's like backstage. That's where we're headed now.
It's very much like a boxer going
into the arena, going in for the fight.
They're doing this before they speak.
And, you know, it's this kind of environment, you know, you're sort of scaffolding and cement walls, but you're about to walk in front of 35 million people.
There's a hole in the wall
Yeah.
where the wires are going
The
through.
floor there, yeah, lots of cables coming out of the bowels. When I was press secretary for the president, people used to ask me, which television show about the American presidency, American politics was the most lifelike? And The West Wing, while it was idealistic in many ways and infused with some Hollywood, was without question the show that most closely replicated the experience.
I think The West Wing captured the reality of how difficult things are to getting
anything done.
Yeah.
Getting anything done.
The most diverse delegation in Nebraska history.
These are the press risers, where over here you can see some still photographers who can shoot from behind the speaker. You get those amazing photographs, a really memorable one.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Where did they put Vermont?
I think Vermont got really good positioning because Senator Sanders has. Well, I think worked really hard to bring the party together.
No doubt about it, but I'm very curious how far away they wanted the chanting to be.
When people see pictures of the Democratic Convention or even video, this is what they look at. They look at the sea of people, the tall signs with the names of all 50 states.
All right, I'm back with more elected officials, again from the Congressional Black Caucus. I'm with Congressman Yvette Clarke, who represents the district right next to the one that I live in, and Congressman Andre Carson from the great state of Indiana. Congresswoman, what does Hillary Clinton have to do to bring home enough black people to win this election?
Well, I think she's got a good start coming out of the primary elections. We need to build out from there, and that means some real grassroots mobilizing. There has to be a real, I think, a clergy strategy that looks at the breadth and depth of where we worship as African Americans, whether it's the mosque, whether it's the synagogue, or it's the church. We need to make sure that we connect with mothers, because in our community, it's those mothers, the single female-headed households, that are the real sort of storytellers of the community that gets the grapevine moving and continue to organize and get them motivated to come out and vote as well. I think that they've got a great strategy in place. We now need to drill down into community by community, rural, suburban, urban, and make sure that everyone comes out and then some for Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Congressman, I ask about mobilizing black people, not because we're black and you're CBC, but because black and brown people have been the heart of the Progressive Coalition for many decades. White people are going to vote for Donald Trump. He's going to win white people in general. But if the numbers among black and brown people are large enough, then Hillary wins. So to you, what do you think Hillary needs to do to make sure those numbers are large enough that she wins?
Well, I think she's doing a terrific job already. Bernie Sanders did a good job in terms of his direct approach, but she's the master at this. The Clintons are masterful at this. They've been massaging these relationships for decades. I think the question becomes how much anxiety and disillusionment can be capitalized by the Democratic Party as it's done by Mr. Trump. But I think the Clintons are the masters of the game, and I think at the end of the day, we'll see Ambassador Touré under President Clinton.
That sounds nice. Listen, every night here we've seen extraordinary speeches. The First Lady, the President last night, tonight the President addresses his whole. What would you like to hear him say?
I'd like him to say that it's important that the Obama coalition stick together, stand together to deliver another victory for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
I think it is so important. The imperatives laid before this nation are stark in terms of what it means for our communities in particular. We're seeing flare-ups across this nation of discrimination, of brutality, of violence. And the only way that we can wrap our arms around solutions is to have a caring administration in place that is willing to actually put their credibility on the line to change things. And Hillary Rodham Clinton has demonstrated that time and time again, and she's not walked away. She's continued to confront these issues, and we need to stand with her.
The Congresswoman talks about caring, and surely those issues are critical. Hillary's gap is with trustworthiness, right? right? And what the president did last night was give a lot of sort of humanization to her. What do we need to do? What do folks need to do to make sure that the human Hillary, the trustworthy Hillary, is seen so voters feel like they can trust her?
We can look at her work with the Children's Defense Fund decades ago, her work as a First Lady in Arkansas, dealing with indigent families, her work as the First Lady of the United States, dealing with poverty issues, her work as Secretary of State, dealing with the series of capital infusions that help blighted communities, her work as a U.S. Senator doing the same. And I think her global efforts, in fact, some of the climate change initiatives that Senator Sanders spoke of were enacted under her secretaryship. And so I think if we can make that connection, folks will move over slowly, but time is running out. But I think she'll seal the deal.
All right, Congressman Clark, Congresswoman Clark, Congressman Carson, thank you so much for your time. Let's throw it up to Hill Harper.
Hey, everybody. Members of the Broadway musical community rallied together in support of the LGBT community after the Orlando, Florida nightclub tragedy. Here to talk about what the world needs now, musically and literally, is Kristen Bell, James Wesley, and Seth Rudetsky.
Yes,
fantastic.
Very good.
So this is an amazing couch here of talent, and so why do you think that this video, this song, 48 hours, top of viral, iTunes, the whole thing, why do you think it caught fire so quickly?
Kristen, what do you think?
I think it's particularly important in times of paralyzing fear, and Orlando was one of those times, to remind people that goodness exists and that good people are still the majority of the world. And there is a lot of love out there. And so I think when you hear about something bad, you got to push through with something good.
So how did it happen? How did it come about?
This one.
Well, the day after the tragedy in Orlando, I woke up feeling helpless. I'm a news junkie, and I could not bring myself to watch the news. So I went on a bike ride. And I had on my phone, on Spotify, I had What the World Needs Now Is Love with Dionne Warwick singing it. And I had it on a continuous loop. And by the time I was done with my bike ride, it came to me that the Broadway community needed to get together, sing it, record it, all the money going to the GLBT Center in Orlando. And that's what we did.
What was your first call?
I think Idina Menzel was my first text.
Okay.
I texted Idina Menzel. She said yes right away. Audrey McDonald said yes right away. I asked Sean Hayes. He said, my friend Kristen Bell would do it. I was like, she would? She got a studio.
I was like friend of a friend, and I was like, oh, thank goodness they invited me.
Our friend Jesse Mueller was like, do you want Carole King? Do you want Sarah Bareilles? We're like, yes! Gloria Stefan. We just kept texting and emailing people. No managers or agents.
Over like 4 days, by the way.
How come nobody,
2 days?
Nobody called me.
You know what? We needed a tenor, not a bass.
Check your voicemail.
Yes,
no, I can go up. I can go up. No, so the DNC this week has been about inclusion. It's been about diversity. How has your guys' experience been so far?
Very exciting to be here.
Yeah.
That's the vibe you have, I think, in the room and on the floor and even backstage. It's very inclusive. It's very diverse. There's a lot of love and there's a lot of smiles and people just wanting to spread goodness.
Have you been into the all-gender bathrooms yet? Anybody?
Not yet.
I was just in one. It was
great.
It's really nice.
I love it.
I sang like a tenor, though.
I don't think they have yet. Actually, backstage, our things are all gender.
I guess so. Well, you know what? We have 4 or 5 dressing
Broadway.
rooms.
It was like
we're all like
gender.
we're like women, men, and we're like everyone's been in each other's dressing.
So here's the I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak.
You just did.
I'm sorry. So you guys. You're going to perform it on stage live tonight.
No lip syncing. Yes,
no,
live.
So no auto-tune, no lip syncing.
No, dear.
Really? So is everyone going to be dressed the same? And
no, we're all looking cute, and we have there's a new combination of people. We have Cagney and Lacey here. We have Tyne Daly and Sharon Glessett are joining. It's amazing. We have like half the people that did the record and others that weren't available. We just kept texting and emailing.
You know, it's funny that you say that about what are we wearing, and of course everyone always asks, and we said cocktail attire because even though we recorded it in the wake of this tragedy, and there's been so many gun violent tragedies since then in this country and around the world, it's still the reason why we're singing this and why it's so important to all of us is because people ultimately are good. Most people, they're basically good as
and they
nature.
want to do something.
Absolutely.
And so we were like, this is a joyous song, even though it's recorded in the wake of that tragedy. So we said cocktail attire.
So most of our viewers are millennials, and so can you just share why you think it's important for millennials to stay engaged in the political process and be involved?
my God, you have to stay engaged in the political process because you literally can make a difference. One vote makes a difference, and it's going to affect these millennials. Yes, right now maybe like their parents are still giving them money, but in 10 years they're going to have their own apartments and their own jobs and their own health insurance. Every vote they make now is going to affect them for the rest of their lives.
And can I say something? Maybe I'm a mother of 2, and so I'm a bit more militant at home. But like, if you're not voting and paying attention, you don't get a right to complain about it.
Right.
So if you don't want to complain about anything, then stay ignorant and don't vote. But if you want to have any say so, you better be paying attention.
I agree. So you guys, let's give it up for this amazing group. Hello, people. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to see the performance tonight. Break legs. I'm going to be off to the side since I'm not really in it, and I'm going to be singing. I'm going to sing my heart out.
Well, there's a big sing-along
and
at
it's
the
going to
end,
be
so
amazing.
join in.
Is it? I'm going to be projecting. Okay, I'll be swaying in the audience.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is going to be amazing. I can't. We're going to go to the digital balcony now. You guys go get ready. Knock them dead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thanks.
All right, I'm with one of the great politicians in America, the Lieutenant Governor of the great state of California, Gavin Newsom.
You took my introduction verbatim. I'm grateful. Thank you. No, you're good.
Well, you just addressed this hall.
Yes.
There are thousands of people here.
Yeah, you're competing against Snapchat.
Yeah, not
Facebook. And I'm sorry. Oh, he's speaking. Yeah.
So what do you do? What is the feeling when you're up there? What do you do to make sure that people are paying a little attention?
2 audiences. You got the one in the room and you got the one right on the TV. And you got to remember, in this world, frankly, it's the folks on TV that matter more because you can share that message, you can tweet it, you can snap it, all these things, and those things become important to what we're doing right now. So social media, arguably more potent, more powerful. So you just have to remind yourself, even if folks are distracted, you're still able to get that message and communicate something to other folks at home.
And it's pretty much got to be like all punchlines when you're out there, right?
No,
you can't like talk.
If you have if you're trying to be thoughtful and deep, and if people like, that's really, I think that was good, wasn't it? You have no idea what the heck. Maybe 10 years from now, you go, wow, that was a great speech. I don't remember that. But yeah, no, it's those one lines, sort of intense, we believe, this, that, and you want a cadence and no more than 3 things at one time together, not 4.
Right.
The whole damn thing. All those speech writers getting in your head.
I love hearing you talk about social with a fluency, or like Snapchat, Twitter.
Local, mobile, social, cloud, crowd. Twitter used to be a sound. A cloud is in the sky. 4G was a parking space. LinkedIn a prison. Yes, my world. I love it.
It's
Platform, on demand.
But it's an incredibly important way to communicate with people, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at a hinge moment, right? Going from something old to something new. And so, look, it's not even interesting to talk about social media in the context of its significance because it's self-evident, but it's only become more so, more customized, more localized. And as an elected official, you better be fluent in that language. I know we're digital immigrants, so we're learning the language. All our kids, digital natives.
Digital natives.
I got a little 4-year-old, I'm like, he's a prodigy. And until I went to preschool and all the other kids, I'm like, what? I thought he was the one.
I'll do it. So look, let's talk about this election. We know that we got to knock on doors and get our neighbors to the polls for Hillary to win. But what is the policy thing you think that Hillary needs to push to make the difference between now and November?
I think, look, at the end of the day, the one universal truth, the essence of who we are, the essence of everything good and bad, is that people want to know that they matter and you care. However you can communicate that. I mean, at the end of the day, what's crime and violence? If someone puts a gun to your head, all of a sudden I'm significant. Now you're paying attention to me. All of a sudden, because they don't feel connected. They don't feel like anyone gives a damn. And they're sending out a message. So if you can communicate that, if she can communicate that, especially Hillary Clinton, that you, us, we matter. She cares. And she's fighting for us every single day, that we're on her mind, not all these esoteric things. I think that's the essence of a victory.
Let's talk about one more thing. Marijuana in California is, it's not legal, but it's decriminalized, right?
De facto illegal because we've had an unregulated medical market since 1996. That said, I'm leading the effort, interestingly, the only statewide Democrat supporting it, to legalize marijuana. Not because I'm pro-marijuana, I'm just anti-prohibition.
Exactly.
And I'm sick and tired of this war on drugs, and I'm sick and tired, frankly, of Democrats talking about the fact they're sick and tired of the war on drugs and not doing something about the most insidious aspect of the war on drugs, and that's the war on marijuana.
So what would you tell the rest of the country about what you guys have accomplished in California around marijuana? What would you tell them if you were trying to make the argument, hey, you should decriminalize as well. What has happened in California that is a good reason for them?
Well, one thing I know is drug dealers don't card. They don't give a damn what they're selling.
That's right.
I want to take those guys off the street. I want to take that black market. We want to get rid of those cartels, and we got cartels running rampant in the state of California. We don't want to normalize the drug. We don't want to condone its use and abuse. Quite the contrary. Again, I'm a parent. But we can regulate it, and adults are in a much better position to regulate it, tax it, keep away big marijuana, big tobacco so it doesn't become big marijuana, keep away advertising that's targeted towards our kids, make sure we're doing something about driving under the influence, be respectful and responsible about the edibles debate, which is a legitimate one, and make sure there's transparency and accountability. One thing I think is most important, I'll close with this, legalization, as is the case in the 4 states that have done it, Oregon, Alaska, Washington, and Colorado, was not an event that occurred on Election Day. It's a process that unfolds over the course of many, many years. You can't be ideological about it. You have to be open argument, interested in evidence. And our approach in California is a non-ideological approach, not celebrating, but recognizing war on drugs is a war on poor people and people of color. Enough. And we've got to turn that around.
Do you think we can see an end to the war on drugs in a Clinton administration or longer than that?
I'll tell you, I mean this. I mean, this may be a little self-serving because California, $12 billion a year just in 3 counties in California, wholesale cannabis produced in what they call the Emerald Triangle, $12 billion at wholesale.
Right.
It's a game changer. Legalization in California is a game changer, not only across the rest of the country, but in Mexico. It's going to change the relationships we have in Mexico. It's going to impact the cartels significantly. If California goes, it's going to put so much pressure on the other states and the federal government. I think this is the beginning of the end of the war on drugs. Again, it cannot sustain itself without marijuana.
Yeah.
The war on drugs cannot sustain itself without the war on marijuana. We kill that, finally we'll wake up to the reality that drugs exist. There's never been a drug-free society. Let's reduce its harm. Let's medicalize it. Let's look at it as a health issue and stop criminalizing it.
You know, so often when we talk about marijuana, everyone starts laughing like they just smoked a joint, but it's an incredibly serious issue. Thank you for leading the cause in California toward legalization, toward moving us out of this war on drugs.
Amen.
Let's throw it back up to Hill Harper.
Thanks, guys. His message on climate change has gone global. In 2013, he received the United States Community Service Award from President Obama, and he's here to share his gift of spoken word with us on DNC Live. Please welcome Earth Guardian.
The power to change the world is in each of our hands and not the president or government. They still don't understand because we fight for the people, for the planet we stand. As our government and industries walk hand in hand, we will fight for our rights against the tar sands. We will take back our streets. This is our land. This is the only home we got. We must protect it, not neglect it. We said no to the pipeline. We got Obama to reject it. And as I walk these Philly streets, sounds of a language I don't speak, pavement in place of rivers, flowers creeping through the concrete. Just like the people that resist the system with the fist held to the sky when they tell us it's illegal to mobilize, but still we stand united. We show the power of the people. People power is powerful. We paint flowers to be peaceful. We are architects of history. Our tools are our poetry. Vandalize the fabric of reality with calligraphy. It's our energy, no enemies. The truth is our destiny. Black as ebony. We speckle the page with words like sesame. We're here to bring the truth. Grassroots from the youth. Fresh fruits, bamboo shoots as our government pollutes our minds as their lies hide in disguise behind masks like bodies in caskets, blanketed baskets. I fasted for the climate and you know that I lasted. Access been granted. Our truth burns like acid. And we are the people. We have come to bring the change and you know the DNC. It will never be the same. Thank you.
Yeah. Beautiful, man. Beautiful stuff. So, you know, there's a line that you just said, we are architects of history, right? And I always talk about this idea of being, we are architects of our own life, the idea that we can create our life like an architect creates a structure. When you think about how you create and craft your message, is it something that just flows out of you, or is it something that you're thinking, okay, I'm trying to communicate this specific point, how can I do it in this beautiful, artful way that people receive it in their hearts? Or how does that work?
Yeah, I think it's a really important combination between like really analyzing and looking at what is happening in the world and what do I want to reflect through my artwork,
Right.
and then as well as kind of just like letting my creativity and the things around me that inspire me, kind of just allowing the inspiration to carry me in whatever direction I feel. So like when those 2 shootings just happened of those 2 young black men, like that really, stirred up a lot of emotion and inspiration to write about those things. And it's like, it's different things that happen in the world around me evoke my emotions to write about and use artwork to tell a certain story.
So let's talk about young people. Let's talk about issues that you see in your community around you. Because I get pushback a lot from folks when I say, you got to get out there, you got to get engaged, you got to vote. And they're like, no, man, Hill, come on, man, that's old school. I'll march, I'll tweet, I'll do this, I'll do that, but I'm not going to vote. Where does that come from, and what's the response to that?
I think the traditional activist mindset of F the system, we want to make a change, grassroots, that's so important. But to the same extent, we have to work within the systems that are in place to create change. And if you look at the movement that Bernie Sanders created politically, that was a movement that was created within the system. So we do have to vote. We have to get out to have our voices heard, not only in the streets, but in the polls and in our local Congress and our local government as well, and being able to understand how our voices matter, not only in the streets.
So how do we make folks understand that? Because I agree with you, but how do we actually communicate that message?
Mm-hmm. I think showing people that this election in particular is so important. It is so incredibly important, not only to us, but people all over the world are looking to the United States to see who the people of this country elect to be our leader. And I think people are beginning to understand the urgency of using our voices in the polls for this election. And it's not just about Hillary or Donald Trump. It's about everything that we have built on an environmental level and on a social level, all of the policies that have been passed over the last several decades, that will all mean almost nothing if we allow Donald Trump to become our president.
So let's talk about you and just your background and how you came to be. Where'd you grow up? How'd you get your name?
Yeah.
Let us understand that.
Right. So my name is Shutesca Martinez. I'm 16. I'm from Boulder, Colorado. My father is from Mexico City. He's indigenous.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do speak Spanish fluently.
Do you ever do your flow in Spanish?
I do my flow in Spanish.
Give us a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. La batalla que luchamos por el hombre humano, la tierra y el viento, la agua contaminado. Somos guardianes de la cultura de nuestros ancestros. Sencatlasocamati, por la vida me ha dado.
I want to learn Spanish, y'all. That sounds so good. So you grew up in Colorado. You're Mexican father?
Mm-hmm. Mexican father, yeah.
Okay. And when you look at the relationship between the U.S., Mexico, and what Donald Trump is talking about as far as building a wall, what is your initial reaction to that?
So for me, it's really intense because a lot of my family are immigrants from here that don't have their papers, that don't have access to all these different kind of privileges that we take for granted every single day. And when we have someone that's running to be a leader of our country and they're claiming that they want to build a wall to actually cut us off entirely, where I think a lot of the problems that are happening in different countries like Mexico that cause us to search for jobs is because the United States has globalized so much and taken so much of the world's resources that now we have to go and find jobs in other places like the United States.
Speaking of that, I don't want you to leave before we talk about environmental stuff, because I know just reading about you that you're an environmental activist. We had Cameron Russell on yesterday, who's a model who talks about environmental issues. And so what is your perspective about the environment, and why is it important to you? Is it because you grew up in Colorado, you're about the outdoors? What do you say to somebody who grew up on the Philly streets, who's got more concrete than mountains like Boulder, Colorado? Why is the environment important? Why is it so important to you?
So I think for me, climate change is one of the most important issues of our time. And looking at climate change as an environmental issue, but also as a human rights issue. So kids in Jersey and New York and Philly still are going to be impacted by the effects of climate change, whether it's today or 10 years down the road. The thing that matters is that we take action today so that generations in the future don't have to suffer like so many people on the planet already have. And this is not just an environmental issue. It's a human rights issue. It affects every other problem: poverty, women's rights, healthcare, national security. Like, all of these are connected to climate change, and I feel that is one of the most urgent issues of our time, and we need our leaders to take stronger, bolder action on it. We cannot have Hillary saying that she's going to support legislature on climate change and then support hydraulic fracturing.
Right.
And that's not a solution, and that's not a bridge fuel from fossil fuels. I'm from Colorado. We have 130,000 fracking wells in my backyard, and the industry wants to drill another 100,000. And that means devastation for our water, our air, and for the climate, because methane that is released in all these different well sites is 70 to 100 times more potent of a greenhouse gas than carbon. It is not a solution. We need real answers in sustainable energy as soon as we possibly can.
It reminds me, I saw this post, and I'm sure folks out there have seen it. It's like two aliens talking, and then one guy says, no, let me get this straight. They got solar energy, they got that wind energy, they got water energy, but they still insist on fighting over fossil fuels and oil, and it just doesn't make sense. It's not forward thinking, it's not smart, it's not even efficient. So what are we doing? I mean, and you raised that so eloquently, man. I'll tell you, I could sit here and talk to you all night, and I'm not going to let you go yet because I want to get one more thought from you, and this is, if we're going to craft a message to get more young people, not just about voting in a presidential election, but 2 years ago, the turnout rate was below 34% across the country as far as there's a non-presidential year, super low turnout rates. And what we know happens when it's low turnout rates, the more conservative or less progressive candidate tends to win, right? When it's higher turnout rates, we get more diversity in the ballot box, and more progressive, more diverse candidates tend to win. How can we start to make those connections? Because that's really the challenge. It's like, it's not, okay, Hillary, Trump, right? We know that that's happening, but then there's all these down ballot issues, stuff that's happening in your local place, the police chiefs, the sheriffs, the folks on the city council, the mayors, all of this stuff, policies state to state. How can we start to get people, particularly the youth, to educate themselves and really decide it's not just about tweeting, it's about voting?
Exactly. The way that I see it is that when we're talking about a people's movement, what Bernie Sanders has created was never just about the presidency. It has to be carried forth with the actions that we decide to take in this next presidential election. It is so important for us to understand the power that our vote has, as you're saying, not just on a presidential level, but in our local communities. The leaders that we elect to represent our voices are the way that we will be represented to the world. So understand the power that your vote has to choose the people that will represent your voice, and then also get active in your community as well. And do not allow your voice to go unheard.
Right.
And the legacy that you will leave will be determined by the action that you take in this lifetime. And these next few years are so critical to the world we are passing on to your children, to your grandchildren, to your great-grandchildren. So think about the legacy you want to leave behind, and use that when you are deciding whether or not you want to vote, who you're going to vote for, and how involved you're going to be in political, environmental, social issues, because they are all connected and they all matter.
You remind me of one of my favorite quotes about the future, because you represent the future, and it's a Bobby Kennedy quote, and he says, "The future does not belong to those who are fearful of bold projects and new ideas, but rather the future belongs to those who can blend passion, reason, and courage into a personal commitment to the great ideals and enterprises of American society." If the millennials out there are just like you, this world is getting better and better and better, because you're brilliant. I so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much.
For your time, bro.
All right, brother. Be well, be
Appreciate
well.
it.
Give it up. Earth Guardian. Hey, we're going to go up to Lovey in the digital suite. What's happening, Lovey?
What's going on here? I am with Baratunde Thurston
What's up?
in the house. You know what I mean?
Love me.
He is a multi-hyphenate dude. How do you even introduce Baratunde? What do you say when people are like, "Who are you?"
I'm Baratunde. I try to keep it simple. No, I'm a
Like
comedian.
Beyonce.
I'm not trying to compare myself to Beyonce. Let it be clear, babe. You got this, okay?
Right.
I'm a comedian.
Yes.
I'm a writer. I'm a
Yes.
cultural critic.
Yes.
I used to work at The Daily Show as
Word.
a supervisor producer. I wrote a book.
Right.
And
How to be black.
if they're still listening, then I'm like, I was born in Washington, D.C., a poor black child.
Baratunde is dope, basically.
Thank you.
He's the guy who's basically the voice. I feel like you're like the voice of culture.
Wow.
Isn't that deep?
No pressure.
I'm deep.
You're very deep.
I'm
That's
deep.
why you're sitting where you are.
You know,
But we both got the polka dots. You see
us? You see us? We go
No
together.
plan. We didn't
Look at
plan
that.
this. This
Look
is
at that.
natural.
This is how we do.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the GNC so far?
I think it is like a palate cleanser.
Yes.
I think it is
Yes.
like a kale detox,
Kale
like a cold pressed, justice filled antidote to last week's
Yes.
poisonous drip.
Yes.
I feel good. I mean, look, all political gatherings have a bit of rah-rah propaganda feel to them,
Right.
but I do feel better. by being here.
Yes.
I feel like I recognize the ideas and the people and the skin tones and the gender spectrum that's on display
it's really
here.
black here.
Yeah.
It's really black. And
It
I
is.
really
It
appreciate
is. I mean,
that.
look at this right here.
I mean,
this wasn't even planned.
It wasn't. Like, what I love is the fact that like the DNC is run by black women.
Yes.
And
Unabashedly
kind of
now.
unabashedly.
Like, they just got Donna Brazile. Where was she? They're just like, oh, we got you. Boom.
We got
it's
you.
Donna Brazile.
Donna, come on.
Making gumbo, bringing the party back together after a very awkward week. You know?
And were you here yesterday when they did the Mothers of the Movement?
I
When they
saw
introduced
them. I wasn't in the room, but I made sure to watch that video this morning.
So
and
when
I
they
saw the
introduced
intro.
them, the crowd was chanting Black
I
Lives
saw
Matter.
that, which is, again, the opposite of what we
The
saw last week.
complete opposite.
And I think what was really beautiful in that moment for me was this wasn't an exclusionary moment. I
Right.
think this whole gathering has been much more inclusive.
Right.
Not just racially, but ideologically.
Right.
And those mothers who know a pain that most will never know
Right.
made a point of saying most police officers are doing right by us. And we need to make sure that they get the support they need. We need
Right.
to also make sure to weed out the bad ones. So it's not the caricature or the cartoon, to quote President Clinton, that we saw put on display last week.
Right.
You know, letting people speak for themselves is really important.
Yeah.
And I think this gathering has let a lot of people tell their own stories. So I love that.
So, what do you think? How do you feel in this moment, this historic moment, where like Hillary, is now?
I'll be honest with you. Like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
I would describe myself as a professional Hillary Clinton hater.
Really?
Right? I was down for Barack. I was down deep.
A bit down.
I was sweating on the south streets of Dallas,
Yeah.
and I had convinced myself.
Right.
And I think there was some evidence. Like I was just very critical of her.
Okay.
Like many Bernie supporters today. Like I
Exactly.
know that. I know
Right.
that pain.
Right.
And so it's really, I've been amazed, honestly, at my own openness this time around, and just remembering in her case, like, oh, this woman's been at this for a long time. She's definitely done things I'm not super glad about,
Right.
but she's also done a lot that I love.
Right.
The choice to me is very obvious, so I feel in terms of the history, it only took 240 years. Not bad. Not bad, America.
Right.
But I also feel in terms of the tenor of my own approach to politics,
Right.
there is no perfect. There is no 100%. And I think I have a lot of respect, for what I see on display here this week. Even all the imperfections, even all the disagreements.
Absolutely.
Like you're pushing that rock up the hill some. And I feel like we're pushing that rock up the hill.
The energy has been so good.
Well, this is the cool kids.
This is the cool
kids. We got Alicia Keys.
We did get Alicia Keys.
Right?
I mean,
we got President Fitz.
It's kind of
from
lit.
Scandal.
It's kind of lit. Like it's actually like peak lit.
This
like,
is the Cool Kids Club. I went to the RNC 4 years ago, and I was just surrounded by khaki. Just khaki, golf shirts, a sea of whiteness, and I couldn't do it again. I felt it. I had to give it a chance. I'm like, nah, we're good. And then you come here, and it actually feels like America. It certainly feels like the America that I would rather help bring into being, even if it's not fully America. I think it is more the future of America.
We'll do it. And the parties also have been lit. Have you
Yeah.
been to a couple?
I went to a Questlove DJ thing last night. The shrimp was amazing.
See,
Really good
see, that's some black stuff. You like the seafood?
Yeah.
Was great.
It was. Well, I'm being honest here. Like it was a really good shrimp.
Oh man, well, I'm glad I got to talk to Barry Tunde. We're gonna kick it back to Hill Harper in the studio.
Check it out. Thanks, Lovey. I am sitting here, right here in Studio 2016 with a YouTube superstar of fashion, beauty, lifestyle. She's a sensation. She is the #1 YouTube star last year. Ingrid
Wow,
Nielsen.
that's a big statement. Thank you.
You are huge in YouTube. You're actually quite petite in real life, but your YouTube persona is huge, right?
Well, I hope I have big ideas that come across to people.
So let's talk about DNC. Let's talk about you being here. How's your experience been? What have you found? What have you experienced? Are you inspired? What are your thoughts? And how's it been to be here?
Oh my gosh, what an incredible environment to be in. I got in at 2 a.m. and it has been an absolute whirlwind. I started off my day by interviewing Chelsea Clinton. So my first
Really?
convention ever and just getting right into it.
What was your toughest question for her?
I asked her about gender equality, and I'm a UN change ambassador for gender equality, and I've made it a priority to be inclusive of all genders. And so I asked her...
What do you think about the all-gender restrooms? Have you been in one yet?
I think that's fantastic.
They have them right across the hall, right over there.
Yeah, and more of that is needed. And I asked Chelsea if her mom would also take on the policy of being inclusive and how she would help trans and gender nonconforming people be seen and heard because they deserve to be.
Okay, so do you know who Lacey Green is?
Yes, I love her.
So Lacey Green was here. But she was more sitting here yesterday. You're a little further away, but she was here yesterday, and she actually said that she would help me have my own YouTube channel or something like that. What is the secret for me building like a great YouTube channel?
Be authentic.
Be authentic. That's it. That's the key.
Yeah, be authentic.
And so that's how you approach it. It's like what folks see on your YouTube channel is really you.
Yeah.
It's not the put on you.
No.
It's really you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so what gave you the idea to start doing it? What was the impetus?
I really think that it came out of grief for me, honestly. I lost my dad when I was a teenager, and navigating grief was very difficult for me. And I think especially in our culture where we are taught that it's not okay to grieve and that there's kind of this time period on grieving, I wasn't sure how to get through it. And I started making YouTube videos because I was watching people that I connected to. And I thought that maybe there's a way that I can help other people. And at that time, nobody was doing this as their job. And it was really about this community building and connecting with people that I had never met before and people that to this day are still some of my best friends 7 years later.
So let's talk about millennials and voting and how younger generations either get involved or not. I mean, how important is it to you to get other folks your age involved in the voting process? And what are the challenges? What do you see as the biggest challenges? I'll tell you, on my side of the ball, what I hear back to me is like, Hill, it's the system's rigged. My vote doesn't matter. Why should I do it? It doesn't. And what I try to explain is that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Actually, if the youth actually got out to vote, they could actually control every single election.
Yeah.
And so how do you see it, and what's the best way to get folks involved?
I think the best way to get people involved is to start by figuring out what it is that you care about. Because what I hear all the time, especially from young people, is I'm not political, or politics is so overwhelming for me because they don't know how to navigate it. It's a very big world. And so I think it's so important to start with the issues that you are passionate about and that you care about, even if it's starting at a small community level. That's starting somewhere. And going back to voting absolutely matters. Every vote really does count. And I think we can use the UK as a prime example of people kind of sitting back and thinking, oh, there's no way that this is going to happen.
Right. And it happened.
And look what happened. And I think in this election, especially when America could go in such drastically different directions, it is important now more than ever to make your voice count by voting.
And do you talk about that on your YouTube channel?
Yes. Okay. I'm starting with being here at the convention.
Are people following you around with cameras and stuff? So you can
I have a cameraman here with me who is also one of my friends.
Where is he?
He's right over there.
Is that him? Come on, come here. People need to see you. Yeah, people need to see you.
This is Alex.
This is Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Alex is awesome.
Okay, good. Thanks for being here. So how come, Alex, you're not shooting us right now? That means I'm not going to be on the show.
Oh, I've been shooting you.
Oh, okay, good. So I'm going to make it?
Yes, you
and
are.
And you'll tag me on it?
Yes, if you want me to.
No.
Let me know your handles and I'll tag you.
It's at Hill Harper. When I say Hill Harper, you guys want to cheer,
promo.
Hill Harper. They lost that directive. It's really okay. Cheer for Ingrid Nilsson. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
You are amazing. You're inspirational. And I'm going to say one thing. Hold on. Don't go to Touré yet. Don't go to Touré yet. Again, this is like back-to-back examples of how millennials in this country are intelligent, engaged, and literally inspiring to me. And so if this is our future, if Earth Guardian is our future, Ingrid Nilsson's our future, we got a great future in this country, and we need folks to recognize that. So, Sheree, what is happening up on the balcony?
Hill, thank you for throwing it back to us. I'm with Congressman Castro from the great state of Texas. Latino and Hispanic voters are going to be hugely important in this election. What would be your case to them about why they should vote for Hillary?
Well, most of all, because Hillary Clinton will build opportunity in this country and Donald Trump will tear it down. One of the best things that we've done as Americans over the generations is build what I call an infrastructure of opportunity. Great public schools, universities, a strong healthcare system, an economy that's built around well-paying jobs so that people can support their families, and especially for an aspiring community like Latinos that are working their way up the socioeconomic ladder. That infrastructure of opportunity is extremely important. The second thing is that Donald Trump has just been so incredibly divisive. I say that as a grandson. My grandmother came here when she was 6 years old as an orphan from Mexico, and to hear him kick off his campaign with a slander about immigrants was very tough to take.
Well, do you see a lot of people who are afraid of being sent home or afraid their father or mother will be sent home?
Yeah, among the immigrant community, among dreamers, certainly there's fear that kids or parents are going to be pulled from their homes and summarily deported. And Donald Trump has said that he will do that. I also don't think if he's elected that he's going to stop with undocumented immigrants. I believe he's going to go on and try to change the ability of permanent residents to become citizens. I think he's going to jack up the cost to become citizens. He's going to make it harder for people to become citizens in this country.
I mean, immigration is central to this campaign on both sides. And we've seen so many immigrants come to this country and contribute so much.
Right.
Become entrepreneurs, become great parts of America. So, I mean, all these white people were immigrants at one point. Why is it that in 2016 we're still able to see fear of immigrants be such a powerful motivator?
Well, I think unfortunately in our nation's history, immigrants in different generations have faced incredible discrimination, as you know. Tomorrow in my speech, I'm going to talk about the Irish who came here and saw signs that said no Irish need apply. The fact that during World War II, Japanese Americans, of course, but also some German and Italian Americans were thought disloyal to the country just because of their ethnic heritage. And they were put into internment camps. So my plea tomorrow is for our country not to take a step back by electing a man like Donald Trump, but for us to continue to move forward.
I'm going to put you on the spot because we saw Barack Obama, the first black president. We're moving potentially toward the first woman president.
Absolutely.
People have said perhaps you could become the first Latino
Well, they usually
president.
say it about my brother more often.
But both of you, right? Well, what do you think about that?
Well, I think hopefully in my lifetime, and certainly in my kids' lifetime, we'll see a Latino president. I think in this generation there are many people who are well qualified and will one day run. But I think that, that it'll be great for the country.
Yeah, well, so what about you?
Yeah, well, I'm going to represent Texas for a while.
What about your brother? Can we get him to run?
See. You're going to have to ask him.
You're going to have to. Right. Very political answer. All right. Hey, what do the people of Texas need most from Hillary Clinton?
They need to know that there is a way up in America. There's still a lot of anxiety about the economy. Even though the president brought us back from the brink of a disaster, this president will go down in history as one of the most consequential presidents. I've said that I think that one day he will be on currency. I think that his daughters and his grandkids will see his face on currency. It may be Bitcoin, but it will be currency.
I mean, this president has done a lot for immigrants and the DREAM Act and the DACA, but he has also deported more people than any other president. How do you feel about that part of the legacy? How do you rectify that?
Well, you're right. I mean, and I think historians will review all of that. He made a strong push on immigration reform, comprehensive reform. There were the votes to pass it in the Congress in 2013, 2014, and it didn't happen. But he did put in place DACA and then tried again and tried with DAPA. So I think overall he will have a strong legacy on immigration. But you're right. I mean, it's an administration that has deported more folks than others.
Part of what we saw in the first half of this convention was the division that still exists. About 90% of the Bernie folks are going to go with Hillary. Right. That's what they're saying. But there is a very passionate minority that is out in the streets, even chanting "Lock her up." They're crying in here. They're saying, "Where's our candidate? Why aren't we? What do we need to do? What do Dems need to do to really pull them in and say, you are part, we hear you, you are part of the family, you are being listened to"?
Well, I think it's happening now. I have been very encouraged by Senator Sanders coming out and saying, booing is easy, but just wait until you have a President Donald Trump which is a scary thought for millions of Americans. And also the fact that issues like income inequality and raising the minimum wage and making sure that education is affordable for low-income and middle-class Americans, all of these issues that Bernie Sanders really built his campaign around and that electrified millions of Americans. Hillary Clinton has been talking about those, and she's been committed to them also, but she's also picked that up as part of the agenda. And I think you're right. I think 90-something% will end up supporting her.
The demographics of Texas are changing slowly. I remember 4 years ago, Ryan Lizza in the New Yorker had a piece about maybe Texas will become purple one day. Do you think that's possible?
Oh, yeah. It's possible, certainly. There are
by 2020? Or
we'll
not
see.
Really?
I don't want to put a strict timeline on it, but I do think, I've said that there are about 6 to 8 pieces of infrastructure that need to be built by Democrats to make Texas competitive. A Democrat has not been elected there for about 20 years. And so we really are, in Texas as Democrats, we're competing against ourselves. If we build the infrastructure, we will succeed, we will make the state competitive. If we don't build it, then we'll be sitting here in 10 years wondering whether it's going to go blue in 2030.
It must be hard to be a Texas Democrat, because to be a Democrat, you got to be pro-gun safety, if nothing else, right?
Sure.
And Texas, right, it's a very gun-friendly state, right? I remember going into the flagship Neiman Marcus in Dallas, and the guy selling shoes was like, there's 3 guns for every Texan, and I don't have any. So how do you split that difference between Texans who want to have their guns and Democrats want to control and have more gun safety?
I mean, I think you appeal to common sense. I have said that many Americans have thought about what it would be like if somebody breaks into your house at 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're there with your kids or your wife, your family, and when people think about buying a gun, and many of them have. But the reforms that we're talking about would not prohibit people from doing that.
Right.
And so it's important to make that distinction. Let me tell you a real quick story. I took my mom to the Marfa Film Festival in 2010, and I was driving up I-10 towards Marfa, and in the distance I saw this home that was way off by itself. And I thought, if you have somebody that's trying to break into your house at 1 in the morning, and law enforcement is not going to be here for 30 minutes probably, then you are probably going to have a way to protect yourself, have a firearm. So, I understand that, and we're not trying to take that right away. We respect that as Democrats, but at the same time, we also know the danger of guns. Both in terms of homicides, but also in terms of suicides. 2/3 of the gun deaths are not homicides, but suicides.
Yes.
And we need to talk about
the
that.
The suicide part of the discussion we can't even get to, but that's an incredibly important part of it. Thank you so much, Congressman. Very
Thanks
nice to see you. Let's throw to a package that they aired last night that we all loved from the great folks at Funny or Die.
Hi, I'm comedian Ken Jeong. I once jumped naked out of a car in a movie.
And I'm Austin Goolsby, former chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors and a member of President Obama's cabinet.
So are you on the Trump train now?
No, Donald Trump is a complete...
Shh. Donald's talking.
Remember we used to have Made in the USA, right? When was the last time you've seen it?
Yeah, you make stuff right here.
What?
He didn't do that.
What do you mean he didn't do that? There's all kinds of Trump stuff. Hotels, suits, ties, furniture, glassware. I mean, look at this Trump shirt. Made in good old Bangladesh. What, yeah, Trump tie. Probably made in Pennsylvania. China? Mexico? How about the Trump cufflinks?
China.
Trump vodka?
The Netherlands.
Trump crystal barware?
Slovenia.
Holy Melania!
I'm sorry.
Calm down for America. So, Austin, if that is your real name, Donald Trump says he will bring back jobs to America when he himself made millions outsourcing his own Donald Trump stuff to be made everywhere else?
That is a pretty astute observation, Ken.
And scene. I think that was great. We got everything we needed. That's awesome. So when is he going to jump out of a trunk naked?
We are not having this conversation again, Ken.
No, we did. I told your people that.
I told you we're not doing that.
I told your people that, and you agreed.
That was great to see Mr. Ken Jeong. He is the master of subtle acting. He never goes over the top, and he's just so truthful in every moment. I'm sure that's what you find in the Google searches that come up about Dr. Ken Jeong. Right?
That was a great transition into talking about search and,
That's right.
and trends.
So I'm curious to know
Absolutely,
what's
yes.
trending with viewers right now. Daniel Seeberger's here from Google.
Yeah.
You actually work at Google.
I actually do, yes.
Do you work at that they talk about that Google campus? It's really cool where they
ride colorful bikes
they have
around,
like lattes
and we just
everywhere.
play beach volleyball
And you have
outside
like
all day.
their
and-
thought bubbles floating around.
Yeah, just like the movie.
It's
you know,
really
the
cool.
internship. Yeah,
Is
that's
that where
exactly
you
what
are?
we do all the time.
Then
No,
you're
I'm
amazing.
not.
Okay,
All
so
right,
what's
let's
trending?
talk. Yeah.
What's the word?
So this is real-time data that we've got here.
Real time.
And this is minute by minute, up over the past hour, the searches that people are doing around the big issues. So you can see here, ISIS is
So
at
this
the
is an
top.
issue search. This isn't
It's an
the
issue
stuff
search.
that's top.
No,
on
this is not
Google,
across
period.
Google. This is just, we're talking about specific issues as relates to the election. You can see ISIS, race-related issues. And again, this is going up almost to right this minute.
Amazing.
And you can see race, ISIS, abortion, immigration there in the top five.
Right. Serious, big issues
Yeah.
for this election.
Now we can drill down even more into Pennsylvania. Of course, we're here in Philadelphia, so we can see that, ISIS, race issues, abortion, immigration, Affordable Health Care Act. These are all in the top 5 here in Pennsylvania. So this is some of the data that we're putting out there.
Why are they all trading all the time, and how does that work?
Well, we sort of call this our horse race graphic, if you will. So, as the searches change minute by minute, we're seeing that people's interest is changing.
Okay.
And so we plot that out on this graph here.
Got you.
And then we can also go to the ticket. We know that Tim Kaine is going to be speaking tonight.
Okay.
You can see how people are searching the issues compared to Hillary Clinton, but then also to Tim Kaine.
The issues compared to the candidate.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
this is people searching for Hillary Clinton and a particular issue. In this case, abortion is at the top for both.
But why?
Race and then ISIS.
Now, here's my question, and maybe this is just the I don't know if it's like political maneuvering or conspiracy or whatever. Do you think that there's something going on that folks know that if they search abortion, for instance, that's happening on purpose? Because why isn't it called the woman's right to choose? Why is the word abortion the number one thing?
That's a great question. So we really do look at ways that people might try to game the system. And abortion might encompass, as we call an entity, right? So it encompasses other terms besides just abortion.
So
It
why
could
are you
be-
choosing that term? Because that's actually a weighted term.
For some people, it is. You're right. But this is the way that we've grouped it together to make it clear to people
Well,
what
I'm
it's
going to
about.
call.
So
Who do I call? Eric Schmidt? Is he the?
You can call Larry
is he
or
the
Sergey.
president?
Just get him on
Sergey
the line.
Brin?
Talk to yeah.
Let's talk about these issues.
No,
and
you're
you
right.
actually didn't do
Yeah.
Tim Kaine very many favors here.
I don't know. I
He's
think
got
that's-
like
he's
these
kinda
horrible
like this
bags
there.
under his eyes. He looks like a bad version of Batman or something. I don't know what that is.
It's all right. I like his
No,
tie.
he looks horrible. but I don't know. I mean,
I don't want to put the artist under the bus.
Okay,
but,
look, he's
yeah.
a great artist.
Okay.
He's just he's a character, but it's
All
good.
right, well-
So listen, no. I'm not. I don't want to go to digital backing yet because Daniel, you're amazing. I just saw somebody who's one of my heroes right there. Can she take your place?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
in fact,
we'll
okay.
see- we'll see in a
so
bit.
you later.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I love Google. Love Sergey Brin.
Keep it
Okay,
coming.
come on. Representative Terry Sewell, one of the most amazing, dynamic congresswomen in Congress. She is spectacular. This is like your congresswoman button.
Can you believe it?
You have to wear
Next
that
to my
to
Hillary
get into
Clinton
Capitol. Next to your age. And so, listen, she and I went to school together. I had a crush on her. It was like when, Bill Clinton last night talked about asking Hillary out 3 times. I asked her out 5 times. She turned me down every time.
He's such a jokester.
And it's okay. I've rebounded since. But talk to us about millennials and voting. Talk to us about your area. She's
Absolutely.
from Selma, Alabama. What's going on in Selma? What is important to you and what's
Well,
happening?
since the Shelby decision came down, the fact that
Tell us about the Shelby decision. What is that?
The Shelby decision actually really was a very decisive decision that made the Voting Rights Act of 1965 kind of null and void because all of a sudden pre-clearance was no longer viable because no states were part of the covered jurisdiction.
So basically, what she's saying, because she's she's super smart and she's a congresswoman. What she's saying is that this is the first presidential election in decades that's actually
And in
not
our lifetime.
in our
In our
lifetimes that's
lifetime.
not covered
by the Voting Rights Act of
Voting Rights Act
1965.
of 1965, which is scary.
Which is so scary. And the reality is that states like Alabama have photo ID laws that actually our barriers, modern day barriers to voting, and it's just really a shame. And so I really hope that millennials will take this as one of their cause, and Google will start searching voting rights, because I think it's really important that every American has access to the ballot box.
Right. And so I'm inspired by members of Congress like you, because here's the deal. You have different groups of people saying, all government is bad. These people aren't working hard. They're not smart. I know for a fact, since I know you personally, you get up every single morning and really work hard to make this country better. And it's very similar to the message that President Clinton gave about Hillary last night. And so how come this rhetoric is winning to vilify members of Congress?
Well, I really hope that average, everyday Americans decide to be more mobile and really get civically engaged, because everything they do is affected by politics. From local politics, when you talk about the police and law enforcement, who hires the police? We do. We do as voters, because we vote for mayors who hire police chiefs, who then hire, police officers. Right. So I really want millennials to understand that the power lies within them. As long as we have our vote, we have a voice in government.
I agree. And so this woman is one of our American heroes, you guys. She's incredible. We're going to go to Touré in the digital balcony. I'm going to keep talking to Representative Sewell because I need to learn some things. Touré.
But we're going to throw to a package of one of my heroes. Last night I interviewed Deborah Messing, who's an LGBT rights activist, and of course the star of the great show Will and Grace. Let's run that. We're here with Deborah Messing, who of course we know from Will and Grace and many other great shows. And what we have here is an inclusive community that is welcoming LGBTQ folks. I think in the other convention we did not have that.
Not at all. Not at all. And I can't even tell you how proud I am to be part of the Democratic Party right now. Amazing.
In 2008, when Barack Obama was rising, as a black person, it was so important to me. Does it matter to you as a woman that we're moving toward Hillary Clinton?
Absolutely. I mean, I wept when President Obama won. I mean, that was such a historic moment. And, to see our country continue to expand and to continue to be inclusive, it's really my main passion. So that was step one. And now, the idea of us having a female president is so huge, and I honestly didn't think it would be in my lifetime.
Really?
I didn't. Obviously, they're doing it all over the world. It's like no big deal around the world. Everyone else is doing it. But for us, it's some huge deal, But I got to say, being here and seeing, Bernie, be there when she was made the official nominee, it was very, very moving. And the idea that my nieces are going to grow up in a country where it's just taken for granted. It's like, well, of course, if I want to, I could be president. Yeah. It's amazing.
That's powerful and so meaningful. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, back to you. So when we talk about the DNC, we're talking about what happens in this hall and nominating a president, a vice president, and creating unity and humanizing the candidate and having passion and all that. But after the speeches end and after the candidates go home and go to sleep because they have to campaign the next day, most of these people are going to go out somewhere and party and have a good time and let off some steam and spend some money and see who they can meet. We got a package about what they're all doing here in Philadelphia when the lights go out.
Hey, okay, check it out. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, but also there's a new add-on to that, and sisterly affection.
There you go.
Because we don't leave the sisters out. Is known for the Liberty Bell, its famous cheesesteaks, and the Rocky stairs. When Rocky ran up the stairs? But the music has a sound of its own. And Philly native, an iconic, legendary DJ producer, DJ Jazzy Jeff, is right here on the couch. He is a Philadelphia legend. And, man, what does it feel like to have the DNC in your city?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I've never seen this many people in Philadelphia ever. first, and just to have this focus on your city, it makes you proud.
Right. So talk to us about your experience here so far, and as it relates to you growing up in Philadelphia, and particularly related in a certain way to what's going on with young people in many of our urban centers across the country right now.
Well, one of the things that I look at, growing up in Philadelphia, we didn't know we had issues because you were right in the middle of it. You thought this was the way things were supposed to be. You didn't really find out that you had these kind of issues until you kind of got older and were able to compare them to other places.
Okay.
So I think just we're at a point now that the issues are so much in your face that we have to look at them. We have to address them.
Absolutely. And so I've done a little cheesesteak tour here in Philly. And since you're from here, you're the first person I've been able to really talk to, and I think that you'll be educated and have a clear, concise opinion about what is. I have an opinion, and I just want to see if we match. Okay. What is the best Philly cheesesteak, period?
That is...
No. You have to commit.
I have to...
You have to commit.
Ishka
Bibbles is wrong. Now, I know you're from Philly.
All right.
But I did a movie here in Philly, and during the course of the movie, I went to 30 different cheesesteak spots.
Okay.
I've determined, and this is the way I feel, the number one cheesesteak in Philadelphia is purchased at Max's Cheesesteaks at the corner of Broad and Erie. That's what I feel. Now, you got to bring your bulletproof
That was
vest.
good.
So you maybe have to look over your back a little bit, but it's very good. And what do you think about Max's?
Max is good.
Okay.
Max is good.
Ishka Bibbles, I think they jazz it up a little too much for me.
No, well, you know what it is.
But you're DJ Jazzy Jeff, so that's how you like it, jazzy.
You have to go in the neighborhood to get the best cheesesteak.
Got you.
You cannot go to a tourist spot. No
Pats and Geno's? You're not going to say the words. I understand because you love all Philly.
I can't.
And Philly loves you. Now, here's my thing. Are you going to run for mayor of Philadelphia? I think you could win, and I think we need you. And so I always encourage folks. Here's the deal. People tell me, well, how come the candidates are like this? Or we don't like this person or this person? Or how come local municipalities, we have representatives like this? And I say, because not enough great minds and great people get out in front and run. Because it's not comfortable to do that, right?
Not at all.
What about becoming mayor of Philadelphia?
I would have to put some serious thought into that.
I think you'd be amazing. I would support you.
I would love it.
It would be great. I'd get out in front because we need minds like you.
Yes, we do.
People who have experienced things about a city, a given city, and also know solutions and still have a lot of relationships
and can relate to people.
I would love to have you. But before we go, I want to know, from your perspective, why is it important for millennials in particular to get involved in this election?
Because it's going to affect you later on down the line. You have to stand up for the generation that comes behind you. You have to really pay attention to the issues because I think a lot of times we don't believe that we can make a difference. That's the reason why talking to a lot of people, especially in Philadelphia, they don't think that they should vote because they don't believe that their vote makes a difference.
And how do we convince them that it does?
I don't think we're going to have that hard of a time now because I think looking at the current events is a direct result of not
participating.
That's it. And I don't think we want too much more of that.
That's interesting. So I just want to say, number one, you are a hero of mine. Even though I didn't grow up in Philly, you're still a hero of mine. And the first time, one of my first roles is I got to do a role on Fresh Prince way back in the day. And then when you and Will got stuck in the elevator and you did a whole retrospective show, they played the scene that I did with Will, where Will's wearing a fat suit and he runs around the corner and his pants come down because my name was Dana and he thought I was dating Nia Long's character. Anybody who's watching this stream, that show was probably done before they were born. But the point is, they're seeing it on reruns.
That's right.
And you're not only a great person, a great individual, and a great representative of this city, man. You're a legend and a hero.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
Lovey, what's happening up at the Digital Suite?
What up? I'm with Erica. Hey, Erica.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you feeling?
Doing pretty well.
So how you been feeling about the DNC?
It's a little overwhelming.
Really?
Yeah. There's a lot of people. It's chaos.
Is it good chaos at least?
It's like the best possible kind of chaos.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like in the hallway and Nancy Pelosi walked by me and I was like, was that Nancy Pelosi?
Oh my God, that's Nancy Pelosi.
I've been having many moments like that where I'm like, that's that person. Yes, it is.
I had that with Jerry Springer earlier today.
Jerry Springer's been here?
Yeah, like in the hall. I was like, it was actually Jerry Springer.
Did you say anything?
No, I mean, I don't want to be like, hey, Jerry Springer. Like, what do you do?
What do you do?
What do you say?
So, how do you feel about Hillary in this moment and how this making history?
All I keep thinking is, my God, my mom would be so proud. She would have been, I don't even know, throwing rocks at that glass ceiling.
Right.
She would have been so proud and right behind her every step of the way.
I mean, it's been shattered. Like, it's been shattered, and I'm so proud to be here. This is my first DNC.
Mine too.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to seeing now?
Honestly, the balloons drop is what I'm like my next big I want Hillary to speak. I want the balloons to drop. I want it to be official.
And then what do you think people need to do come November? What do you think will galvanize people to go to the polls?
I mean, I think it's a pretty obvious choice.
Right.
And I think that, we need to think about common sense. We need to think, do we want someone in office that thinks it's a good idea to arm teachers and principals? Someone that thinks he can walk down Fifth Avenue, shoot someone, and not lose any votes? Is that the guy that should be our president? The guy that name calls? The guy that is super misogynistic?
Oh wait, what's happening on stage? Let's go on stage and see what's going on. People are excited all of a sudden.
Enough to cross, enough to last, till the end of time. What the world needs now, love, sweet love.
It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some.
Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine.
Oh, listen, Lord, if you wanna know. If you wanna know.
Thing that there's just too little of.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some,
but for what the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
What the
world needs now is love, sweet love. The world needs sweet love, love, is love, sweet love, is love, is
Okay, that was awesome.
That's amazing.
That
was
incredible.
Completely unexpected, and wow.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you, Erica. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Of course.
Let me go to Hill.
show you that, folks are talking about overspending in government. The DNC could only afford one microphone. They save money. They passed it amongst 50, 60 people. They're frugal. They keep it tight. And it's true. What the world needs now is love. Sweet love. It's fantastic. It's a great message, and it's true. And as we discussed earlier, 2016 is an exciting time for many first-time voters. And the party girls are no exception. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got to talk. First-time voters. So you guys sitting on this couch have never voted before.
Correct.
Never walked into a ballot station, pulled the curtain, and voted for a candidate.
Never for a presidential election.
Never for a presidential election. But you've actually voted before in local elections.
I have by absentee ballot.
Okay. Interesting. And so let's talk about your friends, you guys, young people voting. How come we hear folks say, young people, they'll even say to me when I say, you got to vote. Hell, the game's rigged. My vote doesn't count. Doesn't matter. Why do I want to stand in line? Why do I have to do this? And I'll say something. Well, you weigh in on social media about things that you care about, and you vote in a way about it. You'll comment on it. You'll like something. You'll do whatever, but you won't actually show up at a ballot station. Why do you think that is, and what can we do to encourage folks to vote?
I mean, I think for me, the reason why is because I feel like the candidates don't ever, say anything to the millennials or to anyone young about what they want to do for them or what they want better for them. It's always about like what the older people want or like, and I just feel like they're not, involving us as much as they can, and
Gotcha.
we are the future.
So what if you were going to, if I was going to run for office and you were going to coach me and say, hey, Hill, if you really want to engage younger voters, this is what you should do and this is what you should talk about. What would some of those things be?
Higher education.
Yeah.
Affordable education.
Affordable education.
Affordable education.
Okay, so if I came out and said, hey, I want to figure out a plan to have, rather than K through 12, basically free public school through 12th grade, I want to figure out a way to have free K through 16, so everybody can get a Bachelor's of Arts degree or a BS without incurring debt. Would that be good?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of why Sanders had a lot of movement from college students. And I think part of the reasons also that millennials, people my age, maybe aren't as engaging in the process is I think that we've become a bit critical. Like we've seen the system, we've heard from our parents of how the system works, and I think a lot of it kind of stems out of frustration, which I think kind of reveals back to the point that I think that even within our own system there needs to be some reform done.
So why are you guys called Party Girls? And I want to know about this documentary you're working on. I mean, are you guys really party girls? I mean, really, what you go out, you really get your party on, you're doing some, what is that? What is that?
So the full title is Party Girls Exploring Politics Across America.
Okay.
So it's political parties.
Yeah.
Right.
Political parties.
Yeah. Little play on words.
Not social parties.
No.
Yeah.
No. You guys don't like social parties?
I mean,
Do you dance a little bit?
I mean,
I do.
I do.
Okay, good. I was just wondering. Listen, parties are fun. So what's the doc about? What's the show about?
So the documentary largely follows first-time millennial women of color voters.
And what do you think is being revealed in it, or through shooting it? What do you think is going to come out of it?
Well, there's a lot of issues that affect all of us really personally, right? And we hear politicians talking about it, and you hear other people talking about those issues. But for example, when we're talking about Muslim American issues, we're hearing politicians speak, but you're not actually hearing a Muslim American speak. And the people that it affects, it's going to affect me directly, and my voice isn't heard or valued.
So let's talk about that, because this is a wonderful platform. It's being streamed to millions and millions of people around the world. Let's talk about young millennial Muslim American woman issues. What would those be? Some of them.
I think a lot of it deals, there's a growing Islamophobia, and I think all of a sudden the Muslim American identity has been tied to national security, right? So you're a good Muslim, or for example, we welcome Muslims to the country and we want you to be on the ranks of fighting terror, right? Well, the assumption should be that as a Muslim American that obviously I don't condone terrorism. Like I shouldn't have to stand up and condemn that, and that shouldn't be the assumption. At the same place, I shouldn't just be an American citizenship
because for, you know, a national security reason. I'm an American citizen first and foremost because I'm in this country and I'm just as equal to my non-Muslim counterparts.
Absolutely. And have you guys found over doing this project that you've learned things about each other? What are some things that you've learned about other folks? Or you're about yourself?
Wow.
You didn't think it was going to get so deep on the couch, did you?
Wow. Okay.
You know, you were like, oh, Hill's just going to say, you know, party girls, whatever. No, tell me, what's going on?
I've learned that Kayla likes to sing. She likes to dance. What have I've learned that Sarah eats halal meat. Like today in the car, we just made a group text, so it was like we're officially like
we're one now.
We're like a unit now. So yeah, just we.
So where do you guys live? Like where is it shot?
We're on the road.
Oh, you're on the road.
Yeah.
Have you been to New York yet?
No.
We know nothing. They're not telling us anything.
We don't know
We
where we're
basically
going
just
next.
wake up and they're like, oh, dress this way.
Oh, really?
And then
we didn't know we were coming here.
Yeah, we didn't
Oh,
even know
really?
we were coming
Yeah.
here.
So, because if you would have done something different. You knew it was me.
I'm just kidding.
No, we're going to see it right now. I'm excited because I haven't seen it. This is going to be the first for the viewers. It's going to be the first for me. We are going to show you some on our screen some of the footage that you guys have shot. And so it's going to be cool. We're going to get your party on.
Okay.
We're going to get our party on. Thanks. And first of all, I just want to say this. Thank you for inspiring a generation. You guys represent the best of us. And I say that, I joke around a lot, but that's serious. You guys are awesome. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You're teaching and helping and learning and folks to grow and see images of themselves that they can emulate and feel proud of. So you're heroes. I'm glad you're doing it. And let's check out this video.
Women of color are key to the American electorate. For some, this will be their first time voting in a presidential election. And they're making their voices heard. This summer, this group of millennial women of color venture across America together, engaging their political passions.
I hear like Donald Trump said this, Donald Trump said that. People make jokes about it.
Republican political establishment is panicking in sheer panic over the staying power of Donald Trump.
But I'm scared. This could possibly happen.
My political leaning is conservative. I really love the party. I'm not a huge fan of the current frontrunner, but I will support the GOP nominee because I can't deal with Hillary, and Bernie is just not going to cut it.
In one of the most divisive election seasons in American history. It's gotten really political.
Hillary Clinton has made this whole campaign about pandering to women.
I'm not interested in playing the media gotcha game.
We're going to build the wall.
Women of color are focusing on the issues.
People getting deported, people get tased to death.
Education needs to improve.
Like I want to have autonomy over my body.
We're hearing a lot about wealth distribution, breaking up banks. But what do you think we can do about the way that police perceive black men in order to reduce police brutality?
Challenging themselves.
Leaning towards the Democratic Party, but as I've become more independent, I don't want to just be regurgitating the information that my parents have been feeding me my whole life. It's kind of hard to not be thinking about it a lot lately.
Taking part in the presidential political process for the first time in their lives.
The Muslim community is a voting population, right? You were talking about them, but not necessarily what you can offer for them.
That was Senator Ted Cruz calling for increased policing of Muslim communities in the U.S.
You know, now being a Muslim is not equivalent to being American.
It's very important to vote.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
I fought to be here, and I'm not going to let anyone take that away from me now.
All right, I'm here with DeRay McKesson, Black Lives Matter activist, and just ran for the mayor of Baltimore.
It's good to be here.
You know, last night the Mothers of the Movement were on stage. The Clinton campaign saying what their pain matters, right? In the hall chanting Black Lives Matter. If Hillary is elected, what do you want to see her accomplish that would make the support that black and brown people are giving to her be earned?
So it's important to acknowledge that her platform has been stronger than we thought it would be, and the platform of the committee is incredibly strong. So I'm hopeful that she'll follow through on the things in the DNC platform when we think about community policing, when we think about making sure the DOJ is able to hold police departments accountable, and a host of other criminal justice reforms.
I mean, is there a reform that you say, okay, you get this, we get success? Like,
There's no one thing that'll solve the problem, but it's important that the platform actually calls for a national use of force policy. We think that'll be incredibly important. That is, I don't think that's actually in Hillary's platform, so that's one thing. And the second thing is when we met with Hillary, she talked about the importance of community oversight, but that is not actually in her platform. I'm hopeful that will come through.
One of the things that we're doing right now in this program is talking about gun safety. Gabby Giffords, Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, addressed the hall. Very emotional moment there. We had Broadway, all of Broadway singing a tribute to the folks who lost their lives tragically in Orlando. What do we need to do to move forward on this gun issue, which seems to be intractable in the American environment?
Yeah, so when we think about the police, it's about making sure we don't have a militarized police force. When we think about community, it is about access. It shouldn't be easy to buy assault rifles or automatic weapons, and that has to be part of it, but we need to do that in a way that doesn't actually criminalize people of color and poor people.
You know, I think of you with BLM, and the stories seem to be weekly. Some new grisly video at the beginning of the week that we're all crying over, and at the same time, police officers getting off at from that story from a year ago. And does it ever get to be too emotional for you? Do you ever get numb that there's just so much emotional information to process with all these stories and seeing all these videos, not just hearing the stories, but seeing them? Does it ever become too much for you?
So it's not too much. It doesn't become numbing, but it does make me sober down and hunker down and focus on the long term. So this is going to be much more of a marathon than a sprint. I think there's so many people who are understanding that this is going to be a long haul thing. Changing systems and structures isn't overnight work, but it's important that we're having a national conversation about not only the problem, but we're starting to talk about solutions, and I think that that's what's next.
I mean, Black Lives Matter has completely changed this election, has been a huge part of this election, perhaps the most important special interest group in this entire election, and that's been amazing. But we hope to see that something will come out of it, right?
Yeah. And I think the platform, again, is so progressive. Bernie would not have gotten the traction that he got if it were not for the protests, creating this space for a type of movement. So I think that we've seen the impact. I think we'll continue to see as we make the 100 days to November.
All right, DeRay McKesson, best of luck.
Good to see
I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Follow him on Snapchat. Yeah. He's pretty good on the Snapchat. Let's go to a package I did last night. I interviewed Tony Goldwyn, who's President Fitz on the great show Scandal. Let's take a look at that. I'm here with Tony Goldwyn, who plays Fitz on Scandal, and you were here, and you ran backstage, and you came back. We're a man of your word, but it was important to you to take a picture with the mothers of the movement. Why was that so important to you?
Well, first of all, it was so humbling to introduce that extraordinary group of women who have, taken a kind of pain that I can't even fathom and turn it into activism. It blows my mind what they. So I felt very proud to be able to do that. And when we were backstage, they were like, "Oh, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture?" I was like, "Of course." Yeah. So when they were on stage, I was like, "I got to get back there because I promised them." But also, it was great because I got to go back and give each of them a big, long hug. And everybody in this place was crying. And I went backstage, and as they walked in, everyone was like, "Shh." Yeah. It was so powerful. So it was more for me than for them, honestly.
Yeah. Your character's Republican, correct? So we figured that out, but we can't admit it. But no, but
you know what? If my character were alive, he would either switch parties and run against Hillary. No, he would, he would have either taken up to run against Trump or switch parties.
But you're a Democrat. Why are you a Democrat?
Wow, I am a Democrat because, for a few reasons. I believe that there is a profound role for the federal government in making people's lives better, in partnership with private enterprise, and kind of guiding the ship, and even sometimes as a bully pulpit, to be involved without being, big brother. I think there's a very important, it's a tenuous balance that we're always having to mess with, but the idea that government just needs to keep shrinking at the expense of people who really need the services that government can provide, and frankly the guidance of a lot of extremely bright people who are dedicated public servants. I feel very strong that there's a role. And then the other thing is I feel that the Democratic Party has always, as long as I've been alive, been the party of diversity, the party championing women's rights, affirmative action, all of the things that, and really strength, international strength, through the projection of American ideals, which is kind of humanity and heart. And to me, that is a very powerful thing. It's not weak. So that's why I've always identified with Democrats, even though I have close friends who are Republicans, when we talk about, just cutting everybody's taxes, when we talk about trickle-down economics, which in my experience just hasn't worked.
Right.
The older I get, the more committed I've become to democratic values and to this party and what it stands for.
Okay, so we are back with Daniel Seberg, one of the top executives at Google. He's going to tell us what's trending. What's
I feel
up,
like I've
Daniel?
been promoted in the last 30
It's
seconds.
amazing. You got stock
Thank
options.
You for that. Yeah,
You're like a member
that.
of the board.
I'm really
okay. So what's happening? What are the Google trends?
Cool. We're getting into the primetime speakers tonight.
Okay.
And so what we've been tracking are searches around tonight's speakers. And you can
Really?
see the president up there, Barack Obama, but Gabby Giffords, Angela Bassett, Mark Kelly, astronaut Mark Kelly, Sigourney Weaver. So we've been looking up to the minute. And again, this is almost up to right now.
Phenomenal.
Just to see the search interest around the speakers for tonight. You can see Tim Kaine there as well. Of course, he's going to be speaking. So we looked at the top trending questions around Tim Kaine. You can see, is he popular in Virginia? Where was he born? Is he married? How old is Tim Kaine? And who is Tim Kaine?
What
so
are
folks
some of
just
those
getting
answers? Do you know them?
I know a few of them, but
Okay.
I'm going to let folks,
figure
check
it
it
out.
out for
They're going to have
themselves.
to
That's
Google
what they
it
got to do a little work.
Okay, that's how Google really makes their money.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now we're going to end on kind of a fun one here.
Okay.
This is all across Google, the top queries that start with who is, right? So who is, right?
Who is?
So at number one, who is Hillary Clinton's next VP? Who is Tim Kaine? Who is the next bachelor? The interest for who is the VP candidate is higher than who is the bachelor, which I feel is that's actually kind of great, isn't it?
That is actually
like,
really great.
For a lot of reasons.
Does The Bachelor come on in the fall, or is it a summer show?
You're asking the wrong person.
I don't know.
We'll have to look it up.
We'll have to Google it.
Look it up. So
we're going to do that.
That's all I got.
Fantastic.
All
Well,
right.
thank you so much, Daniel Seberg. He's been a superstar. He's great. Now we are going to check out a really, really cool video. My Revolution. Check it out.
Lot of talk about revolution these days.
Well, this is what my revolution looks like.
This looks like this.
And this.
This.
It looks like women finally having a seat at the table, at the head of the table.
Which I'm totally cool with. Women made up 53% of all voters in the last election. And yet we only make up 19.4% of our Congress?
Really?
What the
What the
How is that okay?
It's not okay.
It's unacceptable to be over half the population.
To be the single biggest voting bloc in this country.
And to be this underrepresented in the leadership of our country.
Maybe that's why we have no equal rights amendment.
No paid family leave, like literally every other developed nation in this world. Maybe that's why there's no national early child care program.
Because the rights and concerns of women
who make up 47% of our workforce.
Who bust our asses at our jobs while also doing our other job of taking care of our families.
We women are not being represented.
So this is what my revolution looks like. And mine.
It looks like the USA finally joining the rest of the world and passing paid family leave.
It looks like a woman's right to choose being protected and strengthened.
It means equal pay for equal work.
It means the first presidential cabinet with at least 50% of all positions
filled by women.
It means the leadership of this country finally getting somewhat closer to reflecting who makes up half this country.
It means after 240 years, a woman,
a mother, and a grandmother.
Finally leading this country as President of the United States. Ooh, that gives me chills.
Leading by listening.
Communicating, collaborating.
Consensus building.
And with love.
Because that's how we women do it. That's how we lead.
So you say you want a revolution?
Good.
Good.
Well, good.
Vote some women into office.
Vote some women into office. Join our revolution.
Millions of women are already with us.
And men.
Together, we are powerful. We are strong.
And it's finally our time.
me, Chelsea Handler. This is one of the most important elections in recent history, which means it's important to make your voice heard. Just like this. Don't be silent. Don't get played. We got to keep Roe v. Wade. Cast a ballot. Hit that booth. Let's get a real judge next to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Not everybody can rap like I can, but everyone can use their voice. The time is now to elect the first female president. This is about us uniting and raising our voices to make a real difference. So get engaged, spread the word, and support Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party.
All right, I'm here with a true American hero, Congressman John Lewis, who we also know was a huge part of the civil rights movement. Congressman, there was an extraordinary moment in this hall just a minute ago where everyone was singing what the world needs now is love and chanting love trumps hate. And last week we heard so much fear and hatred. It's an entirely different feeling in this hall with everyone talking about love.
Well, we believe in love. Love trump hate. Dr. King said, hate is too heavy a burden to bear. We must lay down hate. In America, we're one family, we're one people, and it doesn't matter whether we're black or white, Latino, Asian American, or Native American, whether we're straight or gay. We're one people. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters. If not, we will perish as fools.
The president speaks tonight. There's a lot of things that he needs to cover. Humanizing Hillary, perhaps attacking Trump, perhaps talking about the legacy, the things that he's accomplished with Democrats' help. What do you want to see him do that would be helpful to Hillary?
Well, I want the president to speak about the Hillary that he campaigned with. Talk about her decision making, her thought process. Talk about her heart, her mind. He worked with her for 4 years. He campaigned with her for more than a year. He knows her well.
When you look at Black Lives Matter, which has been hugely important throughout this campaign, do you see echoes of the civil rights movement? Do you think that it is a continuation, a spiritual continuation of the civil rights movement?
I do see Black Lives Matter as an ongoing continuation of the American civil rights movement. They may not be using some of the same tactics or techniques, but they're addressing some of the same issues.
Yeah.
We must find a way with our young people to lead America to higher heights. And it's not just black young people, but all young people are engaged in this battle to redeem the soul of America.
Thank you so much, sir, for your service to this country in many different ways. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Hill Harper, that is a truly great American, Congressman John Lewis from the great state of Georgia. And Hill, it's been extraordinary to do this with you, being at the DNC when people are talking about love and love trumps hate. I'm just thrilled to be here.
Hey, Teray and Lovey, I'm so happy to do this with you guys and to see and with Congressman Lewis, a true American legend and someone who's fought for social justice for so long. It's so amazing. Yeah. So thank you guys. It's a great way to lead into this amazing night 3.
Thanks, Hill.
Thank you. And thank you guys out there for watching this amazing streamed event. DNC Live 2016. Being in this arena has inspired me so much, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my perspective with you and why the right to vote is so critical at this moment in time, particularly for young people across this country. And, I want to talk just a second before we close out about participation, promise, and connecting the dots. And what the heck do I mean by that? Come on, Hill, what are you talking about? Well, you'll see in a second. Okay, first, we'll take participation. See, everything we've talked about, here's the deal. America is already great. Don't let anybody try to convince you of that otherwise, right? But, like anything else, we can and must be better. We live in the greatest country in the world because we are a participatory democracy. But that only works if we participate. What issues are important to you? For me, all aspects of criminal justice reform sit among the top of my list. As I prepared to be here, I couldn't help but think of Philadelphia's motto, like I said with DJ Jazzy Jeff, the city of brotherly love and of sisterly affection. That's the new add-on. But in certain ways, there's a sense of irony in that motto, particularly in these recent times that have been marked by violence, intolerance, and hostility across our country. But right now, we're in the midst of a reinvigorated movement for equal justice driven by you young people of great conscience who seek to overcome problems of racial discrimination and inequality, and in turn, make our nation a better place. Just by you choosing to watch this stream and being here with us, I'll bet we have more than a few things in common. We consider ourselves politically aware. We vote. We are proud to be civically engaged and like being labeled progressive. We purport to respect brotherly and sisterly love and equal treatment of all, right? Yet, we've been standing and bearing witness to a criminal justice system so flawed and so multi-generationally harmful that in certain ways we find our country imploding. How did we get here? We got here through decades of divisive politics that created and prolonged the destructive concept of race, both race-based discrimination and race-based privilege. In response to these divisive politics, we all have responsibilities above and beyond this upcoming presidential election. In addition to voting for the president in November, we should also be voting in every single election that shapes our political infrastructure. We talked about that the past 2 days. The electoral contests that the media isn't obsessed with are some of the most important, the so-called down ballot or local positions. Your sheriffs, your district attorneys, your police chiefs, your city council people are the people that greatly shape your hometown's criminal justice system so much more. So we rally and cheer and debate ahead of presidential elections. We spend at least a year glued to screens judging and analyzing the candidates, the campaigns, the tweets in anticipation of Election Day. Great. But all elections deserve the same level of our attention and energy. All the candidates and elected officials deserve the same level of our scrutiny. Election Day is our moment to hold those individuals accountable, our moment to fully participate. 80% of Congress is up for re-election this November, and no one seems to be talking about it. Voting is the most immediate way to quickly impact issues you care about. I'll give you an example. 2014 midterm election cycle, only 36% of Americans turned out to the ballot box. With rates that low, there's virtually no way we can achieve the type of reforms that many of us seek. We must connect the dots between voting and long-term change. Long-term change demands that citizens build a representative political infrastructure and that the state and local level that will be willing and able to tackle their concerns locally. All policy reform, like criminal justice reform, is dependent on electing officials who best represent our interests. In other words, the outcome of every election determines who is put into a position of power to make the decisions that impact all of our daily lives. For instance, many cities have elected sheriffs and district attorneys or state prosecutors, right? These positions wield great influence in our criminal justice system. The DA determines whether he or she will investigate and prosecute an officer alleged to have wrongfully used deadly force. The sheriff runs the vast majority of our jails. Equally important is who serves as mayor or the city council. These people may appoint the police chiefs who have the power to determine whether or not discipline or expel a cop alleged to have used deadly force. These are all people who shape all the sentencing policies. I've been to the city of Ferguson many times, and in that community, 2014 composition, the elected city council of Ferguson was majority conservative and looked nothing like the population of Ferguson, which is 70% African American and progressive. But by April 2015, less than 1 year after the devastating police shooting death of unarmed teenager Michael Brown, voter turnout at Ferguson's municipal elections increased more than twofold. So the good folks of Ferguson connected the dots. They understood that the city council inadequately represented them, and as a result, 2015 marked the first time the African Americans were elected to half the seats of the city council. Voters in Ferguson turned out in higher rates to elect city council members, and they believed better represented them and could answer that electorate regarding police enforcement and policies. See, it took a tragic death of a young man to spark that change in voting outcomes. Approximately 7 million people are embroiled in the U.S. correctional system. Just under 6 million people have lost their precious right to vote because of their criminal background. 2.2 million people are incarcerated at this very moment. Shamefully, as a country, we lead the world in incarceration rates. If we want things to change in terms of our criminal justice system, we have to vote. We have to put people in office who can make that change. We all can be working towards a stronger democracy and a fair society. So ask yourself, do I vote in every election or just the presidential elections? Okay, do I support the types of candidates my community deserves? Are the candidates who hold office, are we holding them accountable? Do I demonstrate commitment to civic engagement with my loved ones and to the community? And there are harder questions. Do I initiate conversations on racial injustice, mass incarceration, military-style policing? Do I do more than share the problems on social media? Have I made a personal plan for ways in which I'm going to stop being silent and start affecting change? This week, the Democratic National Committee is uplifting a platform that mentions both criminal justice and voting by recognizing the intersection between the two. This platform connects the dots, a national manifesto born of diverse voices that came together to advance shared ideas on progress. Back in mid-July, I read a news article that called party platforms unenforceable message documents that are generally ignored, right? This is only true because that's the way it's been. But note that platform is a synonym for promise. Great minds have contributed to what is being called the most progressive platform in the Democratic Party's history. That's what's happening in Philadelphia right now. Okay? We have a platform and a promise. And it's not enough to call ourselves progressives if we do nothing to propel progress. We must remind the public that all election days are the moment where we can take actions that count. What do you say to someone who doesn't care to vote, who doesn't prepare for an election day, who doesn't make voting a priority? What would I say to the young protester who is hurting over the police shooting death of his brother or sister? The young protester who knows that Black lives matter, but may not feel that Black votes matter too. I would say we all want instant relief to the pain and frustration we are suffering, yet in our urgency, we cannot forget the power of the ballot. On the checklist of nonviolent actions to advance the long game, voting is at the top. Get out to vote for the people that drive law enforcement policy and reform priorities, as well as the administration of justice and accountability. I would say, hey, I know voting will not bring instant relief craved by so many who are emotionally exhausted by the loss of lives to gun violence and brutality, but I promise that voting is an investment in the future, and we must start investing now. Promise yourself to act. Promise to have the passion, the energy, the conviction to let your voice be heard by voting up and down the ballot box in every election. Promise to become a poll worker in your community. Learn about the candidates. Become a candidate yourself. Okay? Do all of these things. You can do it. That's my promise to you. I'll keep working hard to do it. I need you to promise to do it. All right? We're all in this together. We're in the greatest country in the world because it's a participatory democracy. Let us all vote. Let us all participate. We need you. You do that, I'll do that, I promise. God bless you guys. Thanks so much.